to AstroEnergy with Astrologer Angel Shelley Overton. Hello and welcome to the July 12th edition of AstroEnergy Astrology. Welcome, my name is Shelley Overton, astrologer in Orlando, Florida, and I'm excited to be here with you today. Yesterday was a little unexpected that I wouldn't be here, so I do appreciate you coming back and giving me another shot. I actually had an unexpected trip to Miami, and I was expecting to be back early yesterday morning, but it didn't work out that way. So I appreciate you showing up and listening anyway. I am just everything is going well, believe it or not. I've got my sound going through my headset. I have a new computer. Everything is on track with that. My interface on Blog Talk working well, and yeah, I'm very happy that everything seems to be going well today. And we recently had the Capricorn full moon, and that was on Sunday. And of course, I wasn't with you last week. I believe last week was July. I didn't do 4th of July with you. So we haven't really connected in a while. So unfortunately, they talk about the full moon in Capricorn. I may have touched on it the week before. I don't remember. But yeah, the full moon in Capricorn was about structure and authority, career, and because of it, or it was conjunct. Hang on a minute. Let's back up and look at what this says. Now I'm a little confused because we got the sun, we got the moon. Okay, the moon was next to Pluto. That's what it was. The moon was conjunct Pluto, and the sun was conjunct Mars. I knew there was a connection there somewhere. I was getting a little confused. Anyway, yeah, we had the full moon in Capricorn. I was looking here and it said full moon in Capricorn, but for some reason my mind was thinking the sun was in Capricorn too, which it was not. Because when the sun is next to the moon, we have a new moon, not a full moon. So anyway, yeah, there was a lot of intense energy. I remember I was rather depressed that day, and then as soon as the moon shifted out of that opposition, it's like the fog lifted. And so I'm really susceptible to the moon energy, being I have moon in the first house and it's conjunct Neptune. So I have a lot of sensitivity to those transits, but hopefully you all didn't really have a meltdown or a bad day. But yeah, we definitely felt the energy that day. Okay, so today we have Jupiter at 14 degrees Libra. And I'm doing this chart again, sometimes I do it, a natural chart, which puts 0 degrees Aries on the first house cusp. And sometimes I do it from where I'm at. Today I'm doing it from where I'm at. So right now we have Virgo on the horizon in Orlando, and that puts Jupiter in the first house. So Jupiter is at 14 degrees. He's direct now, and he's moving towards that exact square with Pluto. But he's still about 4 degrees away from an exact square. So we won't see that for a little while yet. And I will update you on that as we get closer to an exact. But we are still feeling it. So Jupiter is expansion. And in the Libra energy, it means that we're working on cooperation. We're working on codependence, which I feel that energy a lot right now. I feel like, because I have this energy in my 12th house, so there's a lot of intense connectedness, and it's about giving to people and having boundaries with people. So Libra is a sign that really loves to give others what they want and be very generous. It's like the manifestor of Virgo. So Virgo is driven to help others. It's a service sign. And then the second sign from any sign will be how it manifests in the real world, in the tangible world, because when you set up any sign in the first house, that's the ego drive, and the second house is the tangible manifestation. It's an earth energy because it's naturally ruled by Taurus. And Taurus is an earth sign. So whatever sign you have in the zodiac, the second sign from it or the one next to it, just after it, will be the sign that manifests that energy. So it's funny talking to people. They can get a little confused between the signs and assign attributes to a sign that's near another sign because of that very thing, because there's a manifestation energy that actually brings it into the tangible world with the sign next to it. So anyway, so Jupiter in Libra is really dealing with the energy of how much we give to other people versus what we give to ourselves. And because Jupiter is expansion and self-interest, we are interested in our part of relationships with other people. So we're seeing that right now. It's also cooperation in all of the Jupiterian things, which would be travel, spirituality, education, anything like that in the Jupiter realm, music and comedy, a little bit of real estate transactions. So it's about connecting to the other person and figuring out if we're going to get our needs met with that. And so it is a very strong growth period between now and October. Oh, what was it? October 8th, I want to say. Let's just fast forward through time and get that exact date. So we've got Jupiter. Where are you, Jupiter? There it is, the 10th. So Jupiter goes into Scorpio at 9:20 a.m. on October 10th, which means that the next 3 months, roughly, will be about relationships and really getting to the heart of it. So anyway, this isn't about Jupiter today. It's actually about Saturn. So let's get through what's going on here, and then we can get to Saturn. So the next planet up in the zodiac today after Jupiter is Saturn, and Saturn's in Sagittarius at 22 degrees retrograde, and he is in trine today and for the next, well, probably while actually, because he's retrograde and he's at 22. He's moving away from the trine to Uranus, but he will be moving back to that energy. Let's just see. He goes direct the 25th of August. And so he gets back to, let me see, trine with Uranus is 26, 24. Where'd it go? Right there. Okay, so he'll be in trine in November. Sorry. I'm doing things the old school way. You have to give me a minute here. Anyway, so back to October, we're going to be having a lot of intense energy with that Jupiter changing signs, Saturn trining Uranus. So not only is it a trine, which brings out an initial, and this is how I read astrology. I mean, I grew up learning that astrology was, or trines in astrology were about positive aspects, but I've observed over time, and definitely there's always like this ego hit or something that brings our attention, maybe in a negative way, but is followed by cooperation and a more positive energy. So really a trine is an alert system followed by cooperation. So that energy will be coming up in October as well. As you know, now it is Saturn's retrograding. It means he's trying to pull away from that Aries energy, and since he's in Sagittarius, the thing is, both signs, all signs, Aries and Sagittarius are fire energy, so they want to do actions. Uranus is an air energy, and it's about ideas, and it's in fire, so it wants to manifest these ideas, and it is entrepreneurial again. So we want to move forward with our ideas around the business. But Saturn, which rules career and taking action, is moving away from that for the time being. And so until he goes direct, and gosh, I say this, it's been so long since I've been doing this show. It seems like 2 weeks that I have completely lost my dates in my head as to when these things happen. So Saturn on the 21st of December, I think I've been saying like the 26th or 29th. I think last year a planet changed signs on that day, so it got stuck in my head. Anyway, he goes forward on the 21st, at least in the chart. I haven't looked up the exact date. So you can look towards late December for that energy to shift into the Capricorn energy. But while he is, actually that's Capricorn, that's not the direct motion. Saturn goes direct here. got a mark right here. What the heck? Yeah, I've got an asterisk saying it goes direct in November, but I think there was a difficult thing in my. I'm using the Llewellyn Planetary Daily Planetary Guide for 2017, and in the dates it actually gives specific times, but in the chart in the back it gives just the day, so you can see it move through time. And I think there was a glitch, if I'm not mistaken, on this one where it didn't actually show the date. Uranus goes direct. There it is. It changed. It didn't have the highlighting the correct way. That's what it was. So it actually moves direct on August 25th by the chart, but it moves direct specifically on the 25th at 8 a.m. 8:08 a.m. on the 25th. So we're going to highlight that. We're going to circle that multiple times. Mark that on your calendars because that's a pretty big shift day. And probably some accidents, I would guess, because it's really close to Virgo, Sun going into Virgo, which means Mercury will be ruling the day at that time as well. So if that doesn't make any sense to you, it means that when the Sun goes into any sign, whatever planet rules the sign that the Sun is in is the planet that gives the energy and events to the Sun. So the Sun is ego, Sun is attention, Sun is wanting to be in the spotlight. So we'll see that energy as the Sun shifts through signs. So the Sun will be going into Virgo in August, and so that means Mercury will be the planet that the Sun answers to, so to speak. And let's see what happens. So Mercury will be at 4 degrees retrograde Virgo. So definitely some energy around thinking and unexpected things. Definitely a Mercury energy at that time. So let's see. I know everybody is just so like I nobody can find me today because I changed the time of the show. So we don't have any callers today. If you're listening live on any other means besides the blog talk site, definitely call in. The number's 347-994-3365. And we'll take some readings later on in the show after I've gone through this. And if we don't get anyone today, I will actually pick a celebrity and we'll talk about the celebrity today, which seems like kind of a fun thing to do. So yeah, I know I'm all over the board with my shows the last couple of weeks. So hopefully we'll start to get a few people calling in and we can do some reads live because I love doing that. So anyway, so getting back to Saturn, Saturn is trining Uranus, which means it is about your freedom, because not only is Uranus about freedom, Aries wants to do its own thing because it's a fire sign and it's the first sign in the zodiac. And trining to Saturn and Sagittarius, Sagittarius is all about freedom and movement, freedom of movement. And so Saturn is about owning it. Now, when Saturn's retrograde in Sagittarius, and it is retrograde for the last time while it's in the sign of Sagittarius, it's about everything that relates to our spiritual growth, our ability to move freely, our ability to travel at will, our understanding of things and expansion of things and the truth around things. Because remember, it is the manifestation of the Scorpio energy. Now, Scorpio is about what's hidden and finding out the mystery of things and finding out the truth. And then Sagittarius is about expressing what has been found or manifesting it out into the world. So we're dealing with truth-telling as well. So Saturn retrograde means that we're going back in the past and reviewing all of those things that we thought we had finished up with until Saturn went retrograde, and now we're going back over it. So if you were moving forward in your career, say you're in a Saturn return, so you're about 28 to 30, or even in your second Saturn return, which means you're getting to be about 56 to 58 years old, then you're really feeling this. You're feeling like things aren't really the way you wanted them in your career, or haven't been, or maybe you're not getting it taken care of the way you wanted to. So, wow. I'm sorry, I just noticed that there was something going on with the sound if you haven't heard this. That's really strange. Okay. That was weird. Okay, so I recalled into the show by accident, so hopefully everybody is still listening because it says that only one host can call in at a time. Anyway, so we'll get back to the show. So right now, as of now, this is probably mostly going to be listened to in archive, so hopefully you all can find it again in archive. But okay, so Saturn and Sagittarius, going back over some old issues around career, the energy of having to always move and be on the go. Maybe you're getting tired of always being on the go with your career. Maybe you want to start to settle down. By the end of the year, that may be a strong energy in your chart, depending on when your Saturn falls. And then right after it, we have Pluto opposing Mars and Sun right now. Pluto is just past a direct opposition to the Sun, but is still within 2 degrees. That means a couple days ago, actually Sunday night, over the weekend, we had the direct opposition of Pluto and Sun. So that was the ego. That was mom versus dad, really, in a lot of ways, because Sun in Cancer rules mother energy, nurturing, needing to be nurtured, needing to have somebody close and know that you're feeling comfortable and nurtured by them. And I find it really interesting. I have someone who I had dated in the past come back up, and definitely the connection we always had was a nurturing energy when we went out, and he came back up. And so, yeah, you may end up finding someone coming back from the past. That's a Saturn retrograde and Neptune also retrograde right now. So let's see. So Mars and Sun are coming up in conjunction with the opposition to Pluto. And, of course, they are both past Pluto exact, but they're still feeling it. There's still 8 degrees of opposition. I go by 8 degrees. So until Mars is at like 26, 27, you're going to be feeling that Pluto authority energy. So it could be a parent or it could be a boss or just some situation where you're in with a group or even friends, but somebody is acting more in charge than other people. And so you're getting that entity saying, no, you have to buckle down, you have to do it this way. And it's a controlling energy. And that doesn't sit well with Mars. Mars does not want to be controlled. Again, remember, Mars rules Aries. So it's new energy, it's expressive energy, and assertive energy. It's a fight, a battle that's kind of still going on with that Mars opposing Pluto. So as the Sun comes up to Mars, what you're getting is an even stronger energy around ego. Because remember, the first house of Aries rules the ego. Now the Sun is in Cancer, which squares the Aries energy, but it's infusing the Aries energy into the realm of emotion. And instead of being action-oriented, we are feeling much more emotional about this drive to do something, to express around the home life. So having Sun conjunct Mars is about an opposition of a planet that's very strong for change around Capricorn. Capricorn's organizing and categorizing. So it seems that maybe we're not really comfortable with the state of our environment emotionally, and we need to start organizing and cleaning and clutter clearing, which, this timeline is really good for that. I feel it myself very strong. And even though now we have 2 planets that are moving out of opposition to Pluto, we're going to be having Venus moving in the next couple months. So we'll get another hit from it. And we'll definitely have that energy of wanting to put more of ourselves into the home. And again, Venus would mean that we're going to be going through some of the clutter clearing around clothing, and maybe, for women, beauty items that we've been holding on to, or items that are of beauty within our home. And we want to do something, to get rid of that and, shift the things that are a little bit more sentimental, we've had a desire around. So, yeah, let's see. So we've got that opposition, and then are in tandem, which means a lot of energy put into home, and to children as a mother or to parents and the mother. Okay, we have South Node in Aquarius still, North Node in Leo. Again, late degrees means we're just kind of getting used to this around connectedness and detachment. But at the same time, past the South Node in the last. So now the moon literally is at the last degree of Aquarius and is about to go in. I'm going to do a quick update of this chart. 2943, which means the moon is void, which is, if you're not listening live to this, that completely goes along with that energy, because the last degree of the moon means nothing will come from it. So it's kind of like I'm lost in the ethers and nobody is really connecting here. So anyway, that's an unfortunate thing that my putting it off one day made it rather like going into an echo chamber. Oh well, that's okay, because I'm still going to give you a full hour show, because it's great to connect, and I know that people will listen to the show, but we don't have any live bodies today. Oh well. Anyway, Moon in Aquarius is a little scattered, as I feel like I sound a little scattered right now. It's also electrical energy, and it can make us nervous or erratic or anxious. So for the last couple of days, if you felt a little on edge, that's part of it. Also, like you can't complete things and you don't know which way to turn. That's the same energy. Also, into the sign of Pisces now, we're going to be really feeling immersed in the ethers and dreamy and daydreamy and probably a little exhausted for the next couple of days. As I state in many shows, Pisces energy is about feeling sleepy. And that's because the higher the vibration we pull in, which is Pisces vibrations, are psychically higher vibrating. They're connected to the other side. And that's why Pisces is very psychic. That energy can be very draining or make us drowsy when it's around. So it means that we are connecting to the other side. And if we're feeling drowsy when the moon goes into Pisces, it's because we are pulling in energy from the other side, conscious energy that's there to help us and give us information that we might not get in other ways. So think about that the next time you feel really drowsy, that out of nowhere, maybe the spiritual energy is really close at hand and wants to give you information. So you take a nap, go to bed early, and then learn to dream, learn to write your notes down about your dreams. You don't have to learn to dream, I guess. You can just write it down, and then it will make your dreams much clearer. So let's see. We have Neptune at 14 Pisces. So again, feeling really connected to the ethers. As I say that, I'm yawning. I apologize. Whew. I think just talking about being drowsy makes me a little drowsy. Anyway, Neptune's at 14, still in trine to the sun, but moving away from it. It's about 6 degrees off an exact trine. And so this is energy around children. And interestingly, I mean, I don't know if it sounded a little bit bubbly. I don't mean to be bubbly because it's pretty intense, but the energy of children and water. There was a story yesterday that I saw that this girl was taking a bath. She's 14 years old, and either grabbed her phone while it was charging or dropped it in the bathtub while she was standing in it and got electrocuted and died. So be very careful. I guess just as an aside, be very careful with phones around water. Especially if it's charging, it's just such an everyday thing that we don't necessarily pay attention sometimes. I even thought about it the other day when I was in the kitchen charging my phone by the kitchen sink. Like, just be very aware of that connection, because right now Neptune's in water and it's squaring Venus in Gemini, which can also be a sign of accidents. So definitely watch your phones. Don't drop them in the toilet. This is another warning for that, because Venus will be there for the next week. She will be approaching a direct square to Neptune. And being in the sign of Gemini, it's about electronics and small appliances. So be aware. And Gemini also rules electricity. Venus rules goods of vanity and beauty. So, just be aware. Hair dryers, things like that as well. So let's see. We've got Uranus in Aries, and he is actually in sextile to the moon today, and right just past an exact sextile. So Moon and Uranus meet, and this is interesting. Another aside as an example for that. The Moon was in late degree. Hopefully, it won't be a void of course situation, because my son called or texted a couple hours ago asking if he could come over and do his website, and that completely is an indicative event of Moon sextile Uranus, because Moon is Mother. Aquarius website. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, which is also the internet. And Aries, taking action, entrepreneurial endeavor. So very cool example of that energy. So Uranus at 28 Aries, trining Saturn, again, only from the other side, entrepreneurial. And it's wrapping up the vision of what you want your business to be. Now, Uranus doesn't go into Taurus until next year. So in May of next year, you're going to really start to see the money coming in from whatever entrepreneurial efforts you've been making for the last probably 5 years, 6 years, as Uranus has been in Aries. And Uranus in Aries is really trying to awaken the masses, because Uranus is a very slow-moving planet that will affect us as a collective. On top of the fact that Uranus rules the collective, it is about the masses. And so as it's in Aries, it's been saying, hey, you want to go and do sales on an electronic media, the internet, ruled by Uranus. And so we've been moving more and more every year with Christmas, when the peak shopping time, I see the energy around it. And, as Uranus, those degrees of Aries, it's just wrapping up the ideology around internet sales and marketing of the self and ideas and technology. And so really from now until May, it is about taking the action, getting it done, and really aligning yourself with what's going to be the new energy around business, which is local, entrepreneurial, internet, Amazon, small business, Etsy, all these things. It's really going to be a strong energy that we're moving forward with. And when Uranus gets to Taurus, it's going to be about the sales. It's going to be about how money's made from that media. And so I know it seems like, looking back, the whole technology bubble was like a blip, but it isn't. It is an ongoing thing. We're moving into the age of Aquarius next decade, and this is like the sun is on the horizon. It's about to come up, and Pluto moving into Aquarius in 2024 is only going to increase intensity. So, as these planets move through the electrical energy, or, the signs are influencing the electrical planets, pay attention. Where are you at with change? Because change is the name of the game. That's just going to get faster and stronger. Okay, let's see. We've talked about Uranus, we talked about Venus, we talked about Sun, Mars. Mercury is at 11 degrees Leo, just moved out of a sextile with Venus, so that's kind of fun, talking about romance. Venus in Gemini, of course, so she has a couple different love and very flirty right now, very intelligent and into ideas, into gabbiness, talking, and it's a good thing, right? Because I'm going to be doing a lot of talking today. And then Mercury in Leo is about connecting one-on-one as well. They want to connect because, again, opposite side is Aquarius, detachment from connection. Leo, attachment to connection. So Mercury is about the thought and the ideas around the connection. And then Leo also rules children and creativity. So for the next few weeks, we're going to be very strongly in our connectedness, and it's even going to go beyond that because Mars will be going into Leo, Sun will be going into Leo here in a couple weeks. So it's a really, and this honestly, the fire signs definitely, they can also, yeah, which Leo is one of my favorite signs of the zodiac because it just has this wonderful connectedness to the creative energy, and it puts me right in alignment with the arts. And I am an arts geek, so Mercury in Leo, we are wanting to chatter, and we want to chat about what connects us to another person. It is about relating. It is about finding common ground and connectedness. So know that not only is Mercury there getting the ideas out, getting the communication out, it is going to be continuing on as Mars and the Sun and then Venus all go through this part of the sky, which is coming up in the next few months. So we've got a nice long Leo influence coming up. And then finally the North Node in Leo, which is bringing us to understand now for the next, I think it is 8-9 months, we're going to be learning how to connect, and maybe not necessarily in ways, and then also with children, and getting back to our child self. It's a really great time of doing that, of playtime. And also, of course, Uranus in the last few months of Aries, children, childlike energy, and Saturn in the last few degrees of Sagittarius, also wanting us to really bring out the playful side of things. So there you have it. We have all of the signs for today, and then honestly, I kind of wonder if this connection is working okay because I have no one calling in, and that's so unusual. Even when I don't announce it, usually there's someone calling in. So anyway, I'm going to take a break if my mouse will stop spinning, which is kind of a concern, that it's saying that it won't let me click anything. But anyway, I'm going to take a break here, and we'll be back after that. As soon as I can get to the button, my window. There you go. Okay. Talk to you in a little bit. Okay, well, nothing's happening, and I don't know if anybody can... oh, my goodness, what is going on? I'm sorry, 818, I'm trying to get to you. I'm going to actually come back because nothing's working on my desktop here. It's frozen up for some reason. Let's see what's going on. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, my goodness. Okay, there we go. All right, well, I'm not going to get a break today other than calling back into the show because nothing worked there for a minute, and now I'm just going to take a caller. So, hi, 818, how are you?
Oh, Shelley, it's working now. I know.
Yeah, I know.
I've been
a
listening,
geek when nothing
and
works.
that's so frustrating. But is that what happened yesterday too? Is that why you didn't have your show?
No, yesterday I was in Miami and I couldn't get back in time to do the show. There was no way I could do it from the hotel. I tried and looked into it, but it wasn't going to work. So I just decided to put it off a day. And so, yeah.
You know
Diane?
what happened with? Yes. Can I tell you what happened with my phone?
Yes,
I put it in the pocket. It was in the pocket of my robe. Guess where my robe went? Into the washing machine. And I just, even 30 seconds, I pushed the stop button, and it was gone.
Oh.
So when you were saying that that's what happens, I agree with you.
Water and electronics.
Be cautious.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Right now especially.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Right.
Isn't that amazing? Oh, my goodness.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I just realized it's so funny. I was going to talk about Saturn. I haven't even gotten to it, so I guess I'll take your call, and if no one else calls in, then I'll talk all about Saturn at the end of the show because I totally forgot. Anyway, so what can I do for you?
Well, I was going to ask about my son. I'm in the process of trying to sell him a house. I'm the realtor, helping him get the house, and
right.
And there's mold. There's a mold issue.
Oh no. And that's interesting because I think I keep getting this karma of the mold too. So I think now is with the water energy, it's a really strong time with the mold coming out. Mm-hmm.
Right, but so knowing a suggestion we made to the seller that it really is an insurance claim, today the insurance company is coming out. I was just trying to figure out if he's going to be lucky enough and follow on or find another one. I guess we can't do it with my birth date, can we? Because I'm the agent, I'm involved, but
yeah, I mean, we can look at that again. I look at Jupiter and Sagittarius for house sales, and then also Taurus. And for you, I think definitely Cancer because that's home and family. And we've got Sun and Mars and Cancer in your 12th house right now. So I think that it's going to be better for it actually to manifest. Like I do think. Now, tell me first. Do you have a buyer, or you're just waiting?
No, I am. My son is the buyer.
Oh, your son's a buyer. Oh, okay.
And
so
I'm
that's
representing
even
him.
more.
And right,
oh, okay.
The seller is the one with the issue, but we're trying to resolve it.
So, I see. Okay, I was confused. I'm sorry. I was thinking you were buying a house. Okay, so the seller's the one with the issue. So tell me what the seller's point of view is. They do or okay.
Well,
they do or don't want to.
We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know right now. They're open, I guess, to the idea of letting their insurance company come out, and this is the day. So,
I can tell you just personally, and this is not astrology. Personally, I would not buy a house where I still have to do something unless I get a discount for the price of the house. You're not.
Well,
you're right. You're
100%.
taking on their problem. Why would you take on their problem? So
you're 100.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we happen to have gotten a great deal, but maybe this is why. But this issue, if it will be resolved, I know that. I agree with you. I wouldn't waste. It's a very expensive house, but it's a great buy. So the bottom, everything's expensive in California. So the bottom line is, the insurance company covers the claim. It would be a win-win because they would repair every bit of the mold, and it wouldn't affect us other than possibly the insurance when purchasing insurance would go up a little bit. But do you see any sales this month in my house of Jupiter? Is that it? Or Saturn?
Well, Jupiter's in your home and family house for sure. So, and it's going direct now. So it means that there is fortune coming in around cooperation. But let me see, 22. It's still 6 degrees away from your Neptune Saturn. So let's look at when it gets up to that, 22. It'll be the beginning of September when Jupiter actually conjuncts your Saturn Neptune conjunction. So September, and honestly, with Sun and Mars in Cancer in the 12th, for you, it's like things are hidden, things are bogged down. You got the water issue, which things are hidden. And I do think that that's a major issue. And you've got the moon. You're calling me on a moon at 29 Aquarius, which kind of sucks because it means that nothing may come from it, which tells, and that's in your 8th house of commitment and legalities. So that kind of makes me feel a little like this may not be the house.
You're right. I hear you. Right.
Yeah.
Because if they don't want to do anything, then we're going to not take it. Even though you invest money in inspections. Oh, interesting.
Well,
so there is.
See. Yeah. I just don't. I honestly, as a professional astrologer, I would say moon at 29 degrees Aquarius in the house of commitment does not look good. So, I mean, it looks like it'll be like nothing will come from it.
Interesting. Because there's always a chance they won't take the claim. So there is that shot that the insurance company will say no, and then if they don't give it, then you're right. We're back to square one. I love that. So I'm cool. That's it. Look at how incredible astrology is.
I know, right?
Tell me this. I love that. It's great.
Yeah.
And can I just have one more question?
Sure. I've got time.
Okay, thank you. Is there any chance someone from the past romance would re-enter?
Oh, of course. Because you've got Jupiter on your Neptune in Libra. That's marriage and partnership. Libra's marriage and partnership. It's in your sign of home and family. When I notice that when there's a person who is really someone we want to be with, it shows up in our home and family. It's not just marriage and partnership or romance, so it'd be the second house for relationships and the fifth house for romance and the seventh house for marriage and partnership. But home and family is where we feel nurtured and loved. And you have Neptune, Saturn there. You need to have that feeling. You have to have a partner to feel really loved. And Jupiter is expanding that. Like I said, the beginning of September, definitely somebody could come back into your life. And then you also have Neptune in the house of commitment, which will also, and then Moon is going through there as well in Pisces. After it changes here in about half an hour, it'll be in Pisces. And so definitely you have a lot of potential. And Mars in your 12th house, anything with Neptune brings from the past. You've got a lot of stuff going on with Neptune / the past connections. So absolutely you could have someone. Is there someone you have in mind?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
And possibly there is someone from the past, yet, people don't change, so then I'm thinking, well, everything, people, unless they want to change, yet it's the older you get, the less you change.
Exactly.
So that's...
Well, what happens here in your chart is Jupiter's going to expand that desire. There's a desire there and a desire around partnering up. And then right after the Neptune, Jupiter will hit your Saturn, which is the commitment. So you're kind of coming into a big manifestation time around the home and family and around a relationship of some sort. It's there in your chart. Jupiter is a major life transition. And literally right now, Jupiter for you, or in the sky, is transiting at 27 minutes. Your cusp into home and family, which is Libra ruled, is 1414. So it's only minutes into your house of home and family, and it's like I said, 2 months away from hitting your next. So absolutely, I've got chills. I absolutely think that there could be someone coming up from the past, and I would even say likely that that's what will happen. Neptune is at the commitment house for you. The last part of your commitment house before Neptune gets out of it is all Pisces, which is the past, is a commitment from the past. So, yeah, you've got a lot of that. And then, again, next May also will get out of Aries and it'll be right on your Sun, which is in Taurus. Then it'll hit your Jupiter eventually. I mean, it'll be a few years because, I'm looking at your chart and you've got all these planets clustered in Taurus, but because it's such a large icon and such a small little house, it looked like they were close together. They're actually the opposite ends of the sign. So Sun for you is at 9 degrees, but Jupiter for you is at 27, and Mars is at 29. So you're definitely going to have some career stuff going on when Uranus gets to the end degrees of Taurus, but you're also very strong likely going to have someone coming in unexpectedly. Also have two people, one from the past and one from the future. So that'll be interesting.
Oh, I love that. Yes, it
a lot
will.
Of multiple.
I love that. What a great
Venus and Gemini is big time. And friendship, too. Right now, friends, a lot of different friends. Do you have a lot of female friends coming around right now? A lot of...
I do. I have friends. Yeah, that's who I hang with, my female friends.
Yeah. Got that energy is real strong right now.
I love that. I'm
don't
so
worry.
lucky.
Yeah, you've got chatting going on. The Mercury and Leo in your first house. You've got throwing out, telling people, hey, do you know anyone? Don't be shy about that, because Mars is going to be going into Leo soon, and that will definitely bring action. Right now, it's kind of hidden. It's two fronts. It's in the 12th house, which is Neptune ruled, so it's going to be watery and hidden. And then you've got it in Cancer, which is also tucked up in the house and doing home things. When Mars gets into Leo, and I'll tell you when that is here as soon as I find it, 21st of July, so 2 weeks from now, and the Sun will also be in Leo, lots of action and attention. You're going to get some attention. Don't worry.
Hey, oh no, not never worry. But I'm excited. I have really good. It's a nice switch. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I am really
Awesome.
ready.
Well,
I love
Diane,
that. So I'll let
thank you so much.
finish. Yes. Thank you so much for everything, and I'll listen for Saturn or anything else you share today. God bless. Bye, Shell.
Okay, awesome. I'll just take you off speaker, and then I'll finish the show with my Saturn. And anyway, thanks for calling. Call again anytime. Okay?
Oh, God bless. Bye.
Thanks. Okay, so getting back to Saturn, since she was our only caller today, thankfully. So Saturn is about commitment. It is about karma. It is about the manifestation of things that we have taken action on. It is about ownership and authority and being the boss and being the owner of your power. It's about organization and organizing, and it can give us a restriction because, of course, it is about owning our stuff. Now, if we're not owning the particular energy of whatever sign it's in, we're going to feel blocked. We're going to feel like events are not lining up with us. People are not agreeing with us. Things are going against us. And what that does is that creates this strength and desire. And when we have this ball of desire ramping up inside us, when Saturn gets to the next sign and releases that energy, all those things can come about. So through the signs, Saturn, the restrictiveness or the basically think of it as a dumbbell that you have to lift until you're strong enough to do it. When it's in Aries, it gets us responsible for our own identities, for what we're about, who we are, our personalities. It gets us responsible for the actions we take around promoting ourselves. It is about sales. It's about what we've done to create the sales or convince other people of something. So it's also about construction. It can be about the manifestation or taking the energy from like a construction or the environments that Aries thrive in are like fire environments, so firefighters, it's sales, so retail, anything like that. It's the career that's wrapped up in those type of endeavors. So I had a boyfriend in high school who was an Aries, and he used to do woodworking, and I used to love that. He was really great with woodworking, and so I always identify Aries with woodworkers or construction, and they really are good when they're hitting things like pounding and getting the anger out or aggression, or even just feeling the blood flow through their bodies, because the blood is also an Aries rulership. So if you could be a phlebotomist, if you don't know what that is, it's people who take blood in the medical profession. So anything that is around emergency or fire or even the police force, guns, hammers, things like that, active energy, sales, self-awareness. So that is the energy of Saturn in Aries. Saturn in Taurus is about the home, I was going to say home. It's not the home, but I immediately translate Taurus energy into the estate. So sometimes I think of it as home, but it is actually estate living. So it is the landlord. It's someone who owns property, invests in the stock market, makes their living around money and money endeavors, financial endeavors. I know 3 people in my immediate family who have Saturn in Taurus, and it's about money or beauty. So my son is about economy and economics, and that's what he's going for in school. And my daughter is attracted to makeup and fashion. So it's a feminine energy, but so it can be receptive, but it is also a financial energy. So people with Saturn and Taurus can make a great deal of money, or they can potentially, depending on if it's direct or retrograde, can have it restricting them. So having Saturn and Taurus means they're creating the structure, and it's a double Earth energy, which means that double structure around it. So it's about bricks and mortar, but it's also about the tangible goods. It's about retail. And so you will have life lessons around beauty or restriction around finances or making incredible financial wealth, and to the point where you miss the connectedness to other people. So it's karmic energy around finances or value, which Taurus is also about value of the self, as opposed to, say, Saturn in Scorpio, which is value of self to others. The lower half of the zodiac is self, the upper half is connectedness to others. So it's the we. The upper is we and the lower is I. So Saturn in Gemini is about communication and expression of communication and thought, and also electrical energy. So people with Saturn in Gemini can be in broadcasting, they can be in journalism, they can be writers, they can be anybody who will express thought. They can be researchers if other planets also support it because they have a curiosity. They can be teachers. They can do anything that might be dualistic. So I can't off the top of my head think of anything, but it is a sign of the twins. So it's doing things repetitively. People with Saturn and Gemini probably are going to have more than one profession or multiple ideas around the career, or definitely multiple careers, just like Saturn in Aquarius can also give you that. So Saturn in Cancer is about the home and family. So anybody, even if you don't have Saturn in Cancer, and this is also true for the houses, having a planet in the house ruled by any of these signs will mean you also will behave this way or have energy around this. So even if you don't have Saturn in Taurus, if you have Saturn in the second house, your life purpose can be wrapped up around things that relate to money. If it's in Leo, it's things that relate to money as a creative expression. So are you earning money through art? That kind of thing. So anyway, so in Cancer, Saturn in Cancer, fourth house, is about earning a living in the home environment or from homes. And like the lady you just called, she has Saturn in the fourth house. Diane, she earns her living with real estate. She's got sales of the home, or it may not be her primary one, but definitely Saturn in the fourth house or Saturn in Cancer is going to have you earn your living out of the home or around children or around nurturing domestic things. It could be being a chef, creating food, things that support your children. Maybe your children are your career. I have a friend who promotes her children's careers. They're ballerina and an actor, so she is there for the children. That's also true with Saturn in Leo or Saturn in the fifth house. So it's about the creativity, about romance. It could be you earn your living as someone who connects people. You could be a matchmaker, anything like that. But it can be restriction around children. If you have Saturn natally in the fifth house, you might not have children. Maybe it isn't something you want, or maybe you've never been able to have children physically. That could also be part of that story. But it's part of your life, part of the karma that you bring into this world. It's about creativity, the arts, acting. It's dramatic. So you may feel like you're not able to connect with people if you have a restriction around that energy. And then Saturn in Virgo is about helping others. Mother Teresa, another great example. She's a Virgo, but being of service to others. So, having Saturn in that house of health and services, it is anything in the helping arts, hospitality. It could be doctor, nurse, again, pretty self-explanatory, anything of service or health, medical endeavors, pharmaceuticals, teaching. Virgo is a great teacher. You could be someone who is bookish. That's all that energy of Virgo or the sixth house. And work. So you may feel restricted by your job a lot with Saturn in that house as well. In Libra, it is about helping others. It's about being of service to others and connecting on a life level, and really the social workers of the zodiac. I say that a lot, but that's truly the energy of Libra, wanting to make others happy, balancing everything. Balancing career can be marriage and partnership. So your marriage might be your career, having a good family life or partnership with your spouse. You could be the behind the scenes person, or you just need another person to feel productive or to express yourself for your life purpose. It is about others, about connecting in a partnership situation. Having Saturn in Scorpio is about connecting to the hidden, connecting to research, connecting to joint finances, money of others, money's deceased people, money from goods of the deceased. Inheritance, it's about law, it's about the political agenda and arena. It is about sex. So you could be someone who's a sex therapist. You could do research. You could be a lawyer. You could be a politician. It's about being enamored of the process of dying, death, and rebirth, with all Scorpio energy. And major life changes around career can come from this position with the Pluto rulership of Scorpio. I only have a couple minutes, but I'm going to fly through the last four signs. So having Saturn in Sagittarius is about doing the self, and it can be about extremes. Definitely this sign can express high highs and low lows, and learning how to integrate the extremes of the energy. You will be much more driven towards expression of the physical body. You will like nature. Your job could be around nature. You may feel driven to be outdoors. So people who are like rangers or spiritual leaders, you could be the head of a church. It's an expression of spirituality or religion. It's seeking. It could be teachers, higher education. It could be a professor. Musicians are under the sign. Comedians are under the sign. So anything like that. But it is about integrating the extremes and owning the extremes. So we're going through the Saturn and Sagittarius energy right now. So you're definitely going to be feeling this in society. And we are getting very polarized in politics right now, which is an expression of gone through the Scorpio and then going into Sagittarius. So it just heightens that energy. Saturn in Capricorn, its own sign. We are getting this at the end of the year, so we'll be seeing some of this energy for the next 2.5 years. Coming down to Saturn in Sagittarius is the hot air balloon, seeing the whole picture, not wanting to get down, in the nitty-gritty, down in the underworld, which is where Saturn was just before it went into Sagittarius. As Saturn moves into Capricorn, it comes back down to earth and gets material and gets more real, gets more pragmatic, gets more quote-unquote realistic, meaning it's material. It may have fears. We're going to have fears come out with this energy. So for the next 2.5 years, it's about like, where is this country going? Where are we going? What's going to happen to the structure of things? What's going to happen to the structure of the corporations, the structure of the internal transportation systems, so highways. Anything that has a construction element to it is going to be affected in the next 2.5 years. It's an earth energy. It already, this is just an aside, Pluto's in Capricorn, Saturn's going in, so it's about how we treat the earth, what the earth is trying to tell us, the signals. It's about getting out of our own dogma. It's about owning your own authority in your career and knowing what you want. About organization, this is a sign of organizational people who thrive more in a tangible environment as opposed to like online and internet or social media. They want to see the physical, tangible things going on. Saturn in Capricorn is going to be digging in more to the elderly issues, what's going on with the elderly, what are we going to do as our country ages more. All these things are going to be coming up. And if you have Saturn in Capricorn in your natal chart, you may have a career associated with the elderly or work really well as a boss or in charge of things. And when this planet goes into Capricorn, it is a time for us all to really own our careers and own the organization of our lives. And so we're going to see a lot of that. It's going to be a reiteration of the Pluto energy entering in 2007, 2008 when we saw the recession hit. Saturn is coming up and cleaning up after Pluto. Pluto brings out all the issues and the fears as well. In Capricorn, it is about the fears. Scorpio energy for Pluto is about the change and about what's been hidden. So Pluto comes through Capricorn and brings it all out. Saturn comes in and cleans it all up and reorganizes it. So look for reorganization, especially when Saturn retrogrades in Capricorn. And that will also be, if you have natal Saturn in Capricorn retrograde, it is about reorganization of things. So that may be your personal talent. Okay, Saturn in Aquarius, opening up to all ideas, everything coming from different directions, multiple careers, electrical energy, maybe in the transcription of electrical media, so broadcasting, anything along those lines. You could be a writer, you could be a teacher, you could be in many different things that expresses all information that comes through you. Scientist is a really big energy for Aquarius. They are the eccentric, absent-minded professor. They are the signs that look for alternatives. Alternative is a key word for Aquarius. So Saturn in Aquarius, alternative lifestyles, alternative thinking, alternative education, alternative writing, alternative media, alternative money situations. So definitely by the time we hit Pluto in Aquarius, or Uranus going into Taurus is also going to give us that. Uranus rules the Aquarius energy. So Aquarius and Saturn means you're going to manifest and create a physical, tangible world and career or life purpose around things that are really intangible and bring them into the tangible world. So having Saturn in Aquarius is going to align also with some of the Uranus and Taurus energy, because it is the electrical into the physical, into the material world, Earth sign. Okay, the final sign, Saturn in Pisces, my sign. I have 0 degree Saturn in Pisces. It is about psychic development, psychic awareness, intuition, telling the story, bringing the past thread into the present, understanding what happened in the past, bringing it up from the past, understanding the ethereal world, and strongly connecting psychically, being very deeply emotional, very creative artistically. It's all about bringing in inspiration and intuition. It is a sign of religious sages, prophets, people who have an understanding of that which is not normally seen. It is a valid energy. I think more than anything, as a person with Saturn and Pisces, it is a career around understanding that which is unseen and sometimes not understandable. So if you have Saturn in Pisces, you're attracted to cameras and equipment that will record things. You are the diarist of the zodiac. You're the poet of the zodiac. You're the artist of the zodiac. You're the religious leader of the zodiac, and strongly attracted to religion, and may even be a religious leader. I know I got ordained as a reverend or a minister, well, reverend, online. So I actually like that. That's kind of one of the eccentric things that I really do like. And having progressed Saturn in Aquarius makes me a little bit more attracted to the eccentric things. So anyway, that is our Saturn show. Thank you for listening in. Share the show. Go to astrologerangel.com if you want to hear more archives, or iTunes. I'm in the archives on iTunes. I will have a show next week, so definitely tune in. I'm going to have to edit out the middle of the show when I was all over the place and could not get back on with the electronics here with my headset. So anyway, I should have that edited and much better. Go to YouTube. You can look at Artful Energies, Astrologer Angel, or Artful Shelley should find my YouTube channel, and you can see some of my art there. I try and do more horoscopes in a week live on a video there if you want to check that out, and subscribe. And what else? Oh yeah, the blog. I write a blog, and I just redid my Astrologer Angel site, so it is up and running. So is my happyplace.rocks, the website that I sell different products with different designs on it. And also shelleyoverton.com is my website that I put most of my artwork. You can buy prints, you can buy greeting cards, mugs, all that. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and we will see you again next week. Bye. Thanks for stopping by AstroEnergy this week. If you would like to get a hold of Shelley Overton, you can get her at astrologerangel.com, on Facebook at AstroEnergy or Astrologer Angel. The music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com with additional music by Ironwood Rain. Check them out on the net at ironwoodrain.com.
To subscribe, please click the picture of Shelley on the right or the red button below.